Welcome back, grade 6. Here I am once again. We're looking at the top of page 21 now, and we're reading question number 1. This is the first question from your homework. So there are 3 homework questions. We're going to do one together at this point in time. So the first one we're going to look at is the floor wax protecting floors from scratches. A shopping mall manager wants to try the more expensive Tough Stuff floor wax, thinking it would protect his floors better against scratches than Steel Seal wax. It's an interesting thing. So if we looked for what is the independent variable, we want to ask ourselves, what is the shopping mall manager purposely changing? Is he changing the floors? Is he changing the scratches? Or is he changing the floor wax? And in this case, he's specifically changing the floor wax. He's going to try out Tough Stuff instead of Steel Seal. Okay, so as we think about that here, we're going to use that as our independent variable. So that means our independent variable in this case is the floor wax or the floor wax brand. It's going to change the brand purposely. And how's he going to know if this Tough Stuff actually works better? Well, they're going to measure they're going to measure the scratches. Now, there's a few ways that we can measure this. We can measure the depth of the scratch, how deep it is in millimeters or something like that. But I think what's probably more likely is that you just look at it and look over the number of scratches in a certain section, like number of scratches per square foot or per square meter or something like that. So maybe he's just going to count the number of scratches. Okay. And so that's what I'll put down for I got a little extra stuff here. Ignore that. That will be my next part. So the next question is, as I fill out the investigative question, which of these goes into the first blank and which goes into the second blank? Which one always comes first in our experiments? Is it the independent variable or the dependent variable? And it is always our independent variable. Our dependent variable comes second. Oops, I forgot the word brand here. All right, let's move on to writing a hypothesis. Which one always comes first? Do we start with the dependent or the independent variable? And we remember that in an experiment, we always start with the independent variable, the IV. So I'm going to include that. So I would write something like floor wax brand here. And we want to talk about what the store manager is going to do with the brand. He's going to change it. How is he going to change it? He's going to change it from Steel Seal to Tough Stuff. So we want to include that change at this point in time. And here we are at the second part of our hypothesis, the then statement. And the second part, always, we know it comes second, it is the dependent variable. In this case, it is the number of scratches. So we'll include that as our dependent variable in the second part of our here. And we want to make a prediction about this. So the number of scratches will blank. Is it going to increase? Is it going to decrease? And this is where we take a guess. And your guess is as good as anybody, so you can take any guess you want here. But if it's the store manager, he's going to try it out because he wants it to actually improve the state of the floor. So he's going to think the scratches will decrease. That means it's not as scratched up. And his reason for thinking that could be anything. I mean, sometimes people think more expensive stuff is higher quality. Now that isn't always true, but a lot of people, we know everybody knows somebody that thinks that way. So maybe that's our reason for making this prediction, is that more expensive things refer to higher quality. And so we can write something like that in our because statement. At this point, you should have 2 more questions number 2 and 3, to complete for homework. Do that on your own. Pause the video as needed for catch-up time. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications, and if you have a heartfelt compliment to pay me, hit that comment button. All right, see you soon.